Hey everybody, it's Michael Goldsman back with you today for clearing number 8 in our Global Service Clearing series. So if you're new to this, you don't have to watch the previous videos. You're just going to continue to watch this video. We're going to do a clearing together. That clearing is going to be on a particular theme, which I'll get to in a second. You will receive a clearing yourself on how you are dealing with or programming you have around that particular theme. But you and I together, as we co-create this particular clearing, we're going to basically be standing in for a global shift that's taking place. We're looking to kind of send this clearing out, as it were, or to hold all of humanity in the energy field. We're not forcing this upon anyone. We're not necessarily looking for a particular outcome that's concrete either way. We're not looking to push against something that's already happening. What we're really doing, and what the purpose of spiritual clearing work and prayer and spiritual healing work is really ultimately anyway, is to help reveal more of the underlying truth of who we already are beneath all the programming, beneath manipulation, control, beneath fear, beneath our own sort of ignorance globally and individually. We're looking to reveal more of what's actually there. Some people call that spirit, or they call it God. But as we reveal that, there is a healing, there's a shift that takes place more into wholeness, more into coming back to our goal in this series, which is the creation, the co-creation, the holding of the space of a world that works for everyone. So today's theme is really something you probably have kind of noticed going on, where in science, in medicine, in human innovation, invention in general, the movement towards truth, movement towards being, you should say, in integrity with information, is getting corrupted, or has certainly long been corrupted, but is more noticeably now. Many people are coming through with no indication or desire to even be in integrity with facts, information, with truth, with integrity. They're only orienting, or they're orienting more and more towards manipulation, fear-mongering, hate-mongering for their own purposes of power and control. And so we are looking here to begin to unwind some of the psychic space, energetic space, where that is occurring. And in reference to how can we do this, if people want to do that, then who are we to come in and go ahead and do some clearing? Well, that's really the purpose of prayer. People do things like this, coming from a place of force, coming from a place of power, manipulation, control, dominance, the desire to dominate and control over others. They do that not because it's not a matter of their own free choice in that moment. It's because they're coming from a place of lack. They're coming from a place where they don't actually understand the truth of their own being. They don't understand that when we can put each other's needs, make them all a priority, as a global community, that we also get our own needs met in a more holistic, truthful way that way. We're coming out of craving, manipulation, the constant lust or need for more and more. We talked about in a previous video that no matter how much someone gets when they're coming from a place of separation, from victim consciousness, from ego, no matter how much they get, no matter how much they try to get and acquire, it's never enough. They're never satisfied. They're never at peace. And meanwhile, much of the rest of the world is in a place of suffering as a result. And so what we're looking here to do is to recognize the higher spiritual truth and to begin to go beneath all of these kinds of choices, individually and collectively, that be made, so that we can start to hold that space of greater harmony, have people begin to consider making choices from a place of collective empowerment, and also recognizing that when we take care of our brothers and sisters on this planet, when we take care of the planet itself, all of its creatures, we are in fact preparing the space for our own legitimate needs to be met as well. So that was a longer introduction than I wanted to do, or than I thought I would do for today's clearing, but let's get into the clearing now. If you want to participate in this, just keep watching the video. I encourage you to come into a relaxed space, maybe seated comfortably, not driving, not doing other things, where you can just focus in on the inner energetic sensation. You don't have to do anything else other than relax and breathe. Okay? So I'm going to begin to bring in the energy for this clearing now. And you can close your eyes, you can open your eyes, whatever feels best to you. Even though you and I are in different places, and I'm recording this at a different time than you're seeing it, you are going to get this clearing. Most people do feel something energetically tingly, tired, something like that, hot, cold, even a spiritual uplift, even emotions coming forward as we get into this clearing work. So I'm asking to clear all blocks to this clearing today and to surrender, protect each person watching me so that we can come into this space together. And so we're bringing in an energetic space now. We're asking to create the environment, to clear out the initial environment, connect, uplift the energy of our personal energy fields first, our higher intelligence. I'm moving my hands kind of a bit here so that I can feel the movement of energy. We're embedding many different kinds of energetic techniques and strategies into this work that I have learned and also created over the course of decades. And just feel that space getting created here. You are, remember, what happening is we're coming into a kind of an agreement here of like, let's co-create a better world. That's what we're trying to do. We don't have all the answers. We don't have to. When we're working spiritually, we're talking about that coming into a place of greater wholeness is going to end up having a greater, better outcome for everyone, rather than coming from a place of greater separation. That the results, the concrete results of that can look different for different situations and people. We're not having to decide that here. We're just coming into this space of holding that higher vibe or holding that higher watch. So continue to breathe. We're going to ask now to begin to embrace, now that you and I are connecting, co-creating this energy field, we're going to ask to begin to embrace intentionally through our words here, through our mental intentions, the entire planet and beyond, so that we can begin to shift collective energy. There's no order of difficulty or magnitude to spiritual clearing for one person or for a billion people. It's really a non-physical type of activity that takes place as we just make the intention for it to occur. So we're asking here first for a clearing around corruption, ignorance, power and control mechanisms being used in sort of as science, but it's not really science, medicine, human invention, technology, manipulation of information and knowledge, willfully feeding people lies and ignorance as a way of controlling them and getting your own power across. So we're asking for resolution around all of the consciousness of that, wherever it is found, why it is being created and used that way. Again, people have, of course, their own choice, but when the consciousness, here's the difference. When the consciousness of choosing something higher is more available to people, sometimes we're so lost in ignorance, individually or collectively, that we don't even really know. We haven't taken time to really reflect on it either. We don't know that something more is available. But if we prepare a space in consciousness, is what we're doing in this clearing, and that availability of, well, wait a minute, what if I was more truthful in what I'm saying? What if I'm more truthful in my words, my intentions? What if I care, legitimately care, and my words, if I'm in a place of power, place of authority, what if my words, my actions are more in alignment with deep down caring about everyone? That doesn't seem that controversial of an idea, right? And yet, sometimes it's not accessible to someone very easily because of that ignorance, that ego self that we're in. So clearing here, Spirit, we're asking to help clear here issues around authority, being manipulated, trust issues with authority, even our own inner concept of authority, being able to take true, authentic power within ourselves, which means not power over others. It means simply we're standing in our own light, we're standing solidly in that, we're able to radiate that out. That is a good use of power. Using power, using platform as a way of helping others, helping the planet. What a great use of power. Any disempowerment running in the collective and individually, fear of our own, here's the thing, fear of our own intelligence, gaslighting, fear of trusting our own self or trusting our own inner knowing, saying, is this right? Is this person who's in authority telling me something that's really right, or am I just been manipulated into it by constantly being fed fear, being fed lies, corruption, power, manipulation? Let's go to the root of that within ourselves, but also within the collective. It's funny that we can be so worshiping at the altar of lies and misinformation and corruption and the desire for that. It's a strange cycle we can get into. That's why we need to use this prayer and clearing energy to help work on undoing that. Let's continue to feel. Relax the body a little bit more. Take a deep breath. Feel the energetic pulsation moving through you. I know I'm talking a lot here. The clearing itself is actually happening below the talking. It's not the words themselves, it's the energy or feel beneath them. We're asking here to align more of human innovation, human power structures, truth, and the ability in media, medicine, science, human use of innovation and invention more aligned with divine intelligence and compassion. I don't mean divine intelligence as in some external being, or certainly not some religious ideology. I mean it as in the truth of who we are, the transcendent truth, the inner truth, the immanent truth. This is who we are. We're asking to align more, open to a greater understanding that we have to get outside of that negative egoic self to understand that when we align more with the truth of who we are in spirit, we are actually able to better and more joyfully, authentically meet our own needs while we hold the space for taking care of each other, taking care of the planet. This is what we're here to do. This is what every religious system ultimately and spiritual system says we're here to do before it's gotten manipulated, right? It says we're here for each other, not control, not power, not to subjugate, but to be here in authentic compassion, openness, and truthfulness. Let's continue to clear on these items. Anything else, Spirit, that needs to be cleared on this today, including clearing any want, any desire for recreating anything that we've cleared today, any blocks that anyone in the collective without forcing would have to receiving this work or to be able to act on it, even in subtle ways immediately, saying, wait a minute, I'm having an awakening where I realize, what have I been doing this time? I've been involved in manipulation, but I want to be involved in something that's in my soul, that something that's truthful, something that's real. Sealing this clearing in spirit, making it permanent. I'm going to begin to stop the energetic flow, and I'm encouraging each of us to place our hands over our lower abdomens or on our knees, just as a way of centering and grounding the energy. Take a few deep breaths. Notice your experience. Now, if you didn't notice anything, that's also okay. Keep doing, you can repeat these videos, keep doing clearings like this through me or perhaps through others, because they will begin to help awaken spiritual sensitivity and help to lighten the load in your spiritual body so that you're able to sense and feel and have a kind of karmic lift of burdens that occur for you over time. And this is going to clear some of the root causes, the spiritual root causes of challenges, issues, problems that you may be having or that you may have inherited from your lineage. Feeling your energy descend into the lower abdomen, relaxing. And in this space, after the facilitation is done, after the prayer, you could call it, is done, this is the time for us to reflect, to let go, to notice, wow, that energy has, in a sense, gone out, and we have been shifted. We can feel a shift in the collective. We can know that shift now as we tune into that perception and just feel it within us. Something here has changed. This does not mean, by the way, when we do this work, this does not mean that no action, no physical actions, no change in mindset or words needs to take place because we're just doing this spiritual work. The spiritual work helps to set the groundwork, helps to clear the deeper levels of consciousness, helps to clear the original levels of why we have gotten into ignorance in the first place. So it's incredibly important, and it's hard to access for most people. So that's why we do these clearings and videos. If you want more of this stuff, By the way, I'm Michael Goldsman, if you haven't picked up my name. My website is below, clearingconnect.com. There, we do weekly group clearings on a variety of subjects. Ongoingly, you can clear your karmic database over the course of time, and also, therefore, become more of a beacon for the causes of clearing and healing on the planet and beyond. We have 400 or more past group clearings that you can download on a variety of topics as well as individual clearings. Or if you just want to check in with me and say hi and see how this work could benefit you more for any particular personal challenges, relationships, problems, issues of manifestation in life, please feel free to be in touch. Till next time, friends, thanks for watching. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.